All right, the week before fall break. Let's get this over with. So I'm going to start with the random number guessing game. I've imported the java.util.scanner to pick up my user input. Well, let me get a track of what I'm doing here. Random number guessing game. That is the first one. No, that's some numbers. Number 17. Okay. This is going to generate the random number. I've got my variables created here, integers. One is the secret number, which is going to be the number that is one of my random integers between 0 and 100, and the other integer, or I'm sorry, the other variable is going to be my guess number, which is a number that changes every time I input a guess, which is why that scanner is useful. So I know it's boring, but I'm going to get a new scanner here, and I'm going to name it scanner because it helps me keep track of things when I don't have a million different names. This random.next.int, also used in the coin toss simulator, is going to come up with an integer between 0 and 100. Ooh, sorry. I'm going to system.out.println what's your guess, and I'm going to give the user the parameters of 0 through 100. If I change this number right here, I would have to change the 0 through 100. I could just as easily do, next int 10 and have it be 0 through 9. So my variable guess number is going to be picked up by the scanner, and that will tell the system what my guess was. If my guess number is bigger than the secret number that the random int generated, then the system.out.println is going to say too high, guess again. If my guess number is lower than the secret number, we're going to system.out.println too low, guess again. And if it is, using this operator right here, if it is equal to the secret number when it's spot on, system.out.println, you've got it. And I'm just going to run these as I do them here. So let's run this. So what's your guess, 0 to 100? Let's start with 50, too high. 25 is too low. 35 is too high. Let's go with 30. Too low. 33, too high. 32, you've got it. So that's all there is to that one. Clear the console. We'll move over here to coin toss simulator. I'm going to again import this is the first time. So the java.util.random to get a random variable here, random value. It's going to be between 0 and 1 since we're just dealing with heads versus tails. Side up, which was requested by the author, is going to be my private string here. I'm going to initialize side up. So I've got my value here, or my variable, going to be a next int between 0 and 1. Yeah, so right here, this is where I'm putting I at first had this at 1 because I figured then it would be 0 and 1. But that is not the case. You've got to have it 2. I quickly realized that all of my head values stayed at 20 permanently when I knocked that down to a 1. So if the value meaning the value of the random integer is equal to 0, then I'm going to declare that as side up heads. If it is anything but 0 or not 0, I'm going to declare that side as tails. So 0 is heads and then 1 is going to be tails. So that we have a 50-50 split, assuming we have a 50-50 variation of random integers. So this is going to return the side of the coin that's facing up. We already said that, and that's what we're going to do. Return side up, being one of those two sides. I'm going to give it 20 tosses. System.out.println is going to say every single time it is tossed. Well, I'm sorry. No, this is the initial setup. So initially, it's going to have a side up, one of those two numbers. And we're going to system.out.println that. You'll see that when I run the program down here. And then here, it's going to say let's toss the coin. And this is where every time it's going to system.out.println, the result. So we'll get a real-time result of how many heads and how many tails that we get. Here's my increment value operator right here, so that it's just going to keep track of the heads, I believe, in this program. Yeah, so the head count exactly here is going to go up by 1 every time we get a heads value. And at the bottom, I just done some simple math to say that the amount of tails facing up is the amount of heads that we kept track, taken away from the amount of tosses, which would be 20 tosses total. So every time I get a head, if I get a 0 12 times, my head count is going to go up to 12, and then I'm going to know that my tails is going to be tosses minus that 12 head count, or 8 tails. So I'm going to go ahead and run this program down here. And, oh no, what's the guess? Here, can we run it now? I feel like I just have to click around in there. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so the initial side up was going to be heads, so it obviously random integer came up with a 0. Going to toss the coin 20 times, and here are my random integers. You know, facing up is 9, facing down is 11. If I run it again, I should get a different number. This time it was 13 and 7. Alright, let's go over to the sum numbers. I'm going to click on this a couple times just so it'll actually run this program when I want it to. Yeah, this one was the easy one. The first time I've used J option pane this year, though. I wanted to see what that little text box looks like. So I've got a variable here, num. I'm going to prompt the user for a positive non-zero integer value as described in the book, and I'm going to store that in the variable input1. Then I'm going to convert that input that we gave it into a data integer, a numeric data integer, and we'll use the sum value to hold a value for the sum that is calculated down here. So this one was some fun math. So while my number is greater than or equal to 1, I'm going to run all of this here. I used the sum plus or equal to num here, which is just a shortcut for sum equals sum plus num. And I've got a decrement value here. So basically, you know, if the user input is, let's say, 10, then it's going to say, you know, my sum starting at 0 is equal to the sum plus num, num being 10. So originally my sum is 10, and then it's going to decrement by 1, 9. So 10 plus this, so I'm sorry, then it would be sum is 10 so far plus new num, 9. Decrement plus 8, decrement plus 7, and then at the end I'm going to have the J option pane show my final tallied sum. I'll run that right down here. Let's see. So, oh, no, and see, this is crazy. It keeps doing that. I don't know. It's like I have to double click every time. Hey, there we go. Enter positive non-zero integer. So I'm going to go 10, click OK, and there we go. Sum is 55. I can do another number. You know, bigger number, 100, something like that, and it'll decrement, you know, from there and add all those up, 5,050. So that is it for the week.